Hello Cutiecalities, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet this very cute Christmas wreath ornament. And this ornament you'll be able to make it in under 10 minutes, so it's a very quick one. And for today's tutorial I'm going to be using a 4mm hook, a small pair of scissors, and for my yarns I'm going to be using the colors green and red, which is very Christmassy, but you can definitely just choose any other color to match your Christmas decorations. The first thing we are going to be crocheting is the wreath, so you have to choose a color, and I'm going to be using the red one. So first we are going to be starting with a slip knot, and then we are going to be chaining 12. Once you did the 12 chains, you're going to go back into the very first one, and you're going to be creating a slip stitch connecting both sides together, and that's going to be basically create a little circle with the chain. Chain 4, and then go back around the circle and create your very first double crochet. Chain 1 and create another double crochet around the chain. Chain 1 and another double crochet. Now you're just going to be repeating the same all the way around until you have 20 double crochets, including the chain at the beginning, so the chain plus 19 double crochets, and also don't forget to add the chain 1 in between each double crochet. Once you have created your very last one, you're going to be chaining 1, and then you're going to be connecting to the very beginning of the chain, counting 1, 2. On the third chain right here, you're going to be creating a slip stitch connecting both sides together. And this is how it looks like. So now I'm just going to be cutting this thread that I have here that I'm not going to be using, and I've already weaved in when I was creating the double crochets. For the next row, you're going to be chaining 3, and then into the same stitch right at the top of the chain that you've created, you're going to be creating 1 double crochet, and then you're going to be chaining 1, and into that same stitch you're going to be creating 2 more double crochets. So that's basically a shell stitch, which we are going to be doing all the way around. And then we are going to be chaining 2. You're going to be skipping 2 double crochets into the third one right at the top. You're going to be creating another shell, so 2 double crochets, chaining 1, and 2 double crochets. And then you're going to be chaining 2 and then skipping 2 double crochets. On top of the third one, you're going to be creating another shell. And then you're just going to be repeating the same technique all the way around. Right here at the end, what we are going to be doing is a little bit different. So you're going to be creating your last shell in between these 4 last double crochets right here. So you're going to be creating 2 double crochets, a chain of 1 and 2 double crochets, and then you're basically going to finish it off. So chain 2, and then you're going to be connecting to the other side on the third chain here at the end with a slip stitch, and then we are going to be moving on into the next row. For this very last row, we are going to be chaining 1, and then we are going to be creating a single crochet right on top of this shell, which is basically the next one available. And then right on top of the single crochet, you're going to be creating a chain of 5. And then into the next 2 chain space available, you're going to be creating a single crochet. And then on top of the single crochet, you're going to be creating a chain of 5. And then you're going to be creating the next single crochet to connect the chain to the project into the chain 1 space right on top of the shell stitch. And then you're going to be repeating the same pattern all the way around. At the end, you're just going to be chaining 5, and then you're going to be creating a single crochet on the chain 2 space, and then you're going to be creating the very last chain of 5, and you're going to be connecting into the very first chain that we've created right at the beginning of this row. So once you've done that, you can just go ahead and chain 1, fasten off, and weave in the yarn into the wreath as well, so it's going to be ready for the next step. Moving on into the bow, we are going to be starting now with a magic ring, and it's very simple. You just wrap around your finger and then you pull up a loop, going under the very first one that you've wrapped around, and basically you're just going to be holding it like this. You're going to be creating a very first chain that is not going to be counting as the row. This is just to secure the magic ring in place. After that, you're going to be creating a chain of 3 right on top of the previous chain that you've created. Now you're going to be creating 9 double crochets, 10 including the chain at the beginning. Now you're just going to be closing the magic ring, chain 4. Now you're going to be turning the project and you're going to be wrapping the yarn 2 times around the hook. And you're going to go into the very first stitch available, the one coming from the chain. You're going to insert the hook, bring it forward, go through the first 2 loops, the second 2 loops, and the last 2 loops. And then you're going to be repeating the same into the next 2 stitches available. So now you're going to be chaining 4. And then into the next stitch available, you're going to be creating a slip stitch. For this part, we are going to be chaining 11. So for our first stitch, we are going to be creating a treble. Counting from the very first chain, on the 5th chain, we are going to be creating our very first treble crochet. And you're going to be following the same steps as I showed you guys already. And then into the next chain available, you're going to be creating another treble crochet. So now for the next 2 chains available, you're going to be creating 2 double crochets. On the next 2 chains, you're going to be creating half double crochets. So it's basically creating the first part of the double crochet, but instead of going through the loops, you're just going to yarn over all of the loops together. So you're going to be doing that 2 times on 2 stitches. And lastly, you're going to be creating a single crochet. So now to connect this part into the project, into the next stitch available, you're going to be creating a slip stitch. Now we are going to be creating another one exactly like what we did previously. So you're going to be chaining 11. And you're going to be creating the same sequence as before, the trebles, the doubles, and the half double crochets, and the single crochet, and then connecting into the project into the next stitch available. Now we are going to be doing exactly the same what we did on the other side. So we are going to be starting with a chain of 4, and then in the next 3 stitches we are going to be creating treble crochets. To finish it off, we are going to be chaining 4, and then we are going to be finding the next stitch available on the base, and then we are going to be connecting the chain to the project with a slip stitch. So now you can just go ahead and chain 1, fasten off, and weave in all the yarns around the bow. So now you just have to figure it out where you want to place the bow into the wreath. I am cutting here 2 little pieces of the red yarn. So now you're going to be turning the bow on the reverse, and we are going to be placing these 2 little strings that we just cut into a stitch that you're not going to be able to see when you turn the bow on the right side. So you can see here I'm just choosing a stitch, and then I'm just basically going through in one of the stitches here at the back. And then you want to do this on both sides as well, so we can tie the bow into the wreath. Just make sure that you know exactly where you want to place the bow, and then you're going to be turning the bow and the wreath on the reverse. So now you're just going to be transferring both sides of the string to the back of the project, and then basically we are just going to be tying a little knot, and you can just cut the remaining, so it's basically going to be nice and secured, and you can do the same to the other side as well. Now we are going to be creating a loop right at the top so you can hang in the Christmas tree. I'm going to be using both the green and the red yarn. You can use one if you want, but I think it looked really nice too. And you just want to cut them in a length that you desire. I decided to do just like that. You can just like choose however length you want, and then you can just go ahead and create a little notch right at the end on the loose ends, and then you're basically going to be having a loop. Make sure that it's nice and tight, and you can also cut the remaining yarn that you have at the end. So now you can just go ahead and choose where you want to place your loop. I'm going to be choosing this stitch right here because I think it's a little bit hidden, and the knot is going to be at the back as well. So you just want to go through the stitch and bring the loop through that stitch, and basically you just want to pass one end through the other end and then just pull nice and tight, and you're done. And this is how the finished project looks like. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You can see that it's super quick to make and it's super easy as well, and your Christmas tree is gonna be so lovely with all these handmade ornaments as well. So it's a very unique experience as well of making your own ornaments. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a massive thumbs up, and I'll see you guys soon on my next one. Bye bye.